y'all. It's about to be phenomenal. It's about to go down, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Man Whip. Do me a favor, like, share, and tag y'all, and press that subscribe button. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Do me a favor, put in the comments where you're watching from tonight. I love you. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, as I did as well. What's up, y'all?
Hey, good
Hello.
to see you.
Great.
Feeling good, feeling
Awesome.
great.
Chris, what's wrong with you?
Uh-oh. I feel wonderful.
You in school, Lana. You got that school look on you.
School look. What does that look like?
Stressed.
I'm not stressed.
What class you taking?
Quantitative analysis.
Yeah, you stressed.
That's stress.
Yeah, you stressed. You
Quantitative, not qualitative. Quantitative.
The numbers.
Stress.
stressed. How you doing in school?
I have all A's.
Oh, but y'all shaking low, dog.
I did get a B over there, but I still have
That girl's smart.
Very smart.
That's what I'm
Dad,
saying.
got your new hairdo?
Oh, wow.
Getting ready for the boot. Yes, sir. Stop playing with her.
Yeah.
It's cute.
You been sick, Daz, man. What you had?
Uh-oh.
Ooh, now you want me to tell the people?
Yeah, what you had?
National TV.
Because you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I couldn't eat.
You look good.
You look
Yeah, you
real
look good, dog.
You've been wearing tight clothes.
Mm-hmm. In church, too. In church, too. That's why she ran.
Yeah.
That's why she ran in church, because she was showing off her figure, not the Holy Ghost.
I must not been there. You
Yeah, she ran.
right now.
You caught the Holy Ghost?
Yeah, you ran in church. How many laps?
Oh.
And you fell
Three laps.
face first in your
Sure did. Rika, yeah.
there it is. There. Ricotta.
Listen, y'all don't know.
You hit your forehead too.
That's powerful.
You hit your forehead too. That's why you wearing the hat.
Maybe.
I was there. she didn't have her.
Yeah, my mom though.
It was powerful, but you did 3 laps.
Yeah, you did. You did some laps.
I never seen you run.
You
You
ran.
know when you out of the presence of God and
Oh.
you come back.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, you went through that little season where you ain't want to be in church. Now you ran to the church, huh?
Yeah, she didn't want to
I
be
was
there.
happy to be back.
Yeah. Life will do it to you, won't it? Bring to the church.
Yes.
Because of the Lord.
Life will
Yeah,
do
man.
it.
God is faithful and kind.
Yes, he is.
Dr. Gay, why?
I'm sorry. I'm
He
sorry.
started early today.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't even get through the hello.
the intro just started.
My bad. Let's go back. Hello, everyone. How are y'all?
Hello. Doing
Hello.
well, doing great.
That's good.
All is well.
Court, you good?
I'm doing great.
Good, man. I like your hat. Where you got it from?
Forever 21, I think.
So,
All right.
well,
That's cute.
on the cheaper
Thank
end.
you.
Why would you? All right.
On the cheaper end of the price.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Forever 21, they starting to get serious. It's a real thing. They're getting, they're getting better. Okay,
Wow,
I'm gonna be
that
quiet.
that's
Your hat
unfortunate.
is cute.
Thank
Dr.
you
Courtney.
so much.
It's
worked
cute.
it.
I just.
When
And
you
it's
got style,
pink.
you can wear
You
whatever.
can wear whatever.
All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we had to take it.
That's not
this
right.
early. We just
That's not
started.
right.
The show just
Yeah,
started.
but we weren't even here last. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's
Y'all,
what it is.
we didn't have a show last
here
week.
last week, so you just on 10.
Okay, you
I'm
missed
sorry,
us.
man.
That's the way of
11.
saying you missed us.
11. Yeah, you did miss us. I
58.
say that.
Yeah.
No, no.
You didn't miss us.
No, bro.
You did. You did.
No, dog.
Yeah, you did. I missed
That's
y'all.
fine. I did miss y'all real bad.
Y'all were sick, though.
I wasn't sick.
You went to the dentist.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
they numbed you so good you couldn't talk for 2 days.
My mouth was numb for
It was twisted a
72
little bit.
hours. Yeah, it was
Really?
twisted. I was smiling.
What did you get done?
Some work. I'm telling you, my teeth. You know what I told y'all. So we close to that. Y'all just wait.
Hey, she said, y'all.
Just wait.
She said, wait.
Really
She said, hey.
Don't bring it up again.
She said,
She said, I'm standing on my word.
she said, when her insurance kick in, she gonna get another 2 so she can have a full smile.
Don't edit it because I'm telling you.
She said she wait for that insurance
I'm
kick
telling
in.
you, I'm smiling.
It ran
for-
out
I'm-
now.
I'm smiling.
You got that
for
insurance
3
that you
years
get-
straight when I get my teeth.
You got that
Like,
insurance that if you do one,
You can't.
you go one visit, you gotta wait till
about 2
next year.
months. Yeah. Wait about 2 months.
unfortunate.
But that's all
waiting
right.
period.
Don't. I'm telling
What kind of
y'all,
insurance you got, man?
You know me. When I get them teeth.
Yeah, you gonna smile all the time?
Listen,
I feel you, dog.
yeah, you know, so
I
I
feel
was
you.
numb for a couple days, but you know, I'm getting that. I'm getting to
Getting it
it.
back?
Yeah,
Getting it
I'm
back?
to it.
It's
Alright.
crazy.
That's dope, man.
I just.
Crack it up.
You are on 11
That nigga
today.
said that's dope. Wow.
Man, I'm proud of you, man.
That's dope. You proud of me.
Because the reason I'm proud of you because I remember a couple of years you would smile like this, but now you're doing like ha.
Can we zoom in on the smile? I just don't remember this moment. Like a pirate? I smell like a pirate.
Now you coming into form.
Wow.
This is absolutely.
I love that.
So
for
while
me.
we're on you, Chris, what would you do?
Okay,
Holy
so
moly.
yeah, I got some. All right, we got you. All right, this is the What Would You Do segment. This segment is called Is It That Serious? I'm a 14-year-old man and 42-year-old man, and I've been on the block a few times when it comes to dating. I've been married twice, and I have 4 beautiful children, all girls. Although I've been divorced twice, I have great relationships with my ex-wives and an amazing relationship with my daughters. Right. Well, I just started dating again after a long break. This beautiful young lady that I met at a cigar lounge. She's 28 years old. She's fine, in school, a nurse, and owns her own business. We've been dating for 2 years. My daughters love her, and surprisingly, so do my ex-wives. I know that she is the one, and I'm looking to marry her again I'm looking to marry her as my last marriage. I know it's going to be great. We've been on many dates, and she always says she has something to tell me. But the date always takes a turn. We either end up having a great time or going home to sleep. Well, just recently, we went on a vacation, and she told me she had something important to tell me again. I wasn't worried, but when a man hears that, you get nervous. Mm-hmm. We landed in Puerto Rico, changed our clothes, and went to grab a bite to eat. The scenery was beautiful. As we were eating, she said that this was the perfect time to tell me what she's been wanting to tell me for 2 years. Mm. She said that she loves me and doesn't want this to break us up. She said that she has 6 kids, the youngest being 6 years old. And between the 6 kids, there are 3 different fathers. I asked her why I had never met her kids, and she said she tries to keep that and her relationship separate. Oh. She says she doesn't expect for me to provide for the children or even get to know them. That pissed me off even more because it showed me her character. I got up and purchased 2 flights back. Yeah. On the flight back, she said, "Is it really that serious?"
Yeah, dog.
I didn't say another word to her once we got back. I'm not going to lie. I was hurt. I love her, and I'm trying to figure out, should I stay? Nah, bro. I do love kids, and I'm over 40. What would you do?
Man, you're 42.
40's still young for a man. You could do a lot.
Listen, dog. Listen. You didn't ask me, so I'll shut up.
I'm asking everybody. What the people saying?
First
y'all,
of all,
if the man in love,
when she started, if she got 6.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
She first started at 14.
I had to start at 15.
But how many? Does he have children?
He has 4.
He has 4. Oh, okay. He has 4.
That's 4 daughters.
And he's been married how many times?
Twice.
Bro, go ahead and cuff that.
That's what I'm saying.
Beggars can't be choosers, my dog.
Cuff the woman of God because
let it be 9 of y'all.
That's what I'm saying. And then
if I did my math right,
he basically saying like
40
I'm 40,
is not for a man though.
But he's saying like
you could get a young teen.
I love
now understand this: a man always has more options than a woman.
This is true.
But in this case, you would be being hypocritical if you said, "Oh no." Here's what alarms me. Here's what alarms. It's not the 6 kids. Yeah, it is the fact that she's 28.
And she didn't tell the
She
man.
started having kids when she was 14.
She got 3 baby daddies.
Oh man, you crazy! I would not do that.
Back to back though. Maybe she didn't
No.
start at 14.
No, dog, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. How many? But see, the flip side of it is he got 22,000 wives. Y'all just better blend it up, dog.
I want y'all to hear me out. Because y'all always go against my people, and I want him to be happy with this woman of God.
3 baby daddies.
And I know she a woman of God.
You don't know she a woman of God. We just know she know how to be fruitful and multiply.
That's what I'm saying. She a woman of God and she know the word. So what I'm saying is,
no, she is the word. She lives the word.
What I'm saying is,
she is a walking epistle.
I think they will be good together. I really do. I'm like 40, 28. She it ain't like she a bum. She got her own.
She got all that. Yeah, she a nurse. Got her own big. Yeah, man.
6 kids. What's the 6 to your 4?
You know,
yeah.
And his kids love her.
She spin the block too much though. That's
yeah. But no, go ahead, Doc.
I just,
I'm gonna say everybody on board.
As the person on this panel that has a child, that dates.
Okay.
My thing is,
I may have some. I just don't know.
Well, here we go.
That's enough.
We're gonna edit that out for the replay.
Don't edit that. Do not edit that.
No, okay, but no, seriously.
Go ahead.
I guess because I understand the concept of not wanting to introduce your kids to your significant other until you're serious. But at the same time, your significant other needs to know that you have kids.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, and I understand what you're saying. Like he might as well go ahead and cuff. But I'm just saying, like, that's this. And how long were they together?
2 years.
2 years, and you didn't tell him that
Let me tell you something.
She didn't think the time was right.
Let me tell you, look, y'all. 28 years old, and for 2 years, you hid 6 kids.
6 kids.
Bro, she dangerous.
She dangerous. That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
dangerous
That's
woman.
strange.
That woman gotta know how to hide.
She
something.
was. She know how to do a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
6 kids.
Daycare.
Somebody slipped up, slipped in. Hey,
I'm
go with
scared of her.
Daycare, school.
Be afraid.
But my
6
thing
kids.
is, she was holding the 6 kids down by herself. She didn't ask the man of God to help her. I mean, she was
Exactly. That means she's about to have fun with this dude, be flued out, and then she peacing out.
They might have about Tumoto.
Oh yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Listen. She's 28. She's still a
Well,
young
this
temper.
turned out better than I thought it would. I'm so, man of God, stay with your woman.
All right,
okay?
man. Shouts out to Chris for what would you do, man?
That was terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. That's a horrible situation, man.
6 kids for 2 years.
I can't leave these people life now.
Des, what's up? It's questionable.
Okay, you guys, it's time to dive into It's Questionable, the segment which explores the latest headlining news. So, Pastor John Lindell, the lead pastor of James River Church in Ozark, Missouri, made headlines for his recent men's conference. He had a male stripper take the stage for a performance during his conference. During the performance, the stripper ripped off his shirt, swung on a pole, and swallowed a sword.
Bye.
Well,
I capped up.
Swallow the sword.
yeah.
Wait a minute, a sword?
Yeah.
He was doing some tricks and
man?
things.
Yeah.
A man stripper at a
At a men's conference.
That swallowed a sword.
5,000-10,000 people.
Yeah.
That's lame.
Well, Pastor Mark Driscoll was supposed to preach, but before he started, he openly rebuked the behavior of Pastor John. He was asked shortly after to leave, and Pastor John said the issue should have been addressed privately. To the band, can we find a reason to side with Pastor John? Is there any reason or example that can justify having a stripper in a Christian conference? Is this questionable?
Dr. Gabe, what you got on that?
Well. I posted about it earlier today. Shouts out to Bishop William Murphy III. A few months back, the African American church crucified him for swag surfing in the church. Okay. Number one, we've been doing cultural, or what the church would call carnal dancing for ever. Okay. Because our blackness is a part of our church context. For example, there's nothing in scripture that allows you to step in church. But if you grew up in church, you were part of that step team.
Absolutely.
Now watch this. But guess where we got stepping from?
Tell us.
We got it from D9 organizations. We brought it in the church and we started stepping. I say, I love my God.
Come on now.
Vacation Bible School.
Not Jesus by Jesus.
Then
Come on.
we would put on fatigues while stepping. Where we get that from?
Uh-oh.
Omega Psi Phi. Hiding it in we're in the army of the Lord.
You're talking real good.
Okay, so I never agreed with his crucifixion, because if you are, hear me, I don't care what you say, as a black man who was raised in the black church, it's hard to keep the attention of black people.
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
It's hard. Okay, so that's my first point. Now let's go over to, let's compare swag surf to a, y'all ready?
Tell us.
White men's conference that decides to hold or create some type of, use innovation and bring a white man in to levitate on a pole, rip his shirt off,
That's crazy.
swallow a sword.
And they pay
I'm not here to talk about how unbiblical it is.
Yeah.
I'm here, my opinion, my issue is the black church won't say anything about that
You see?
because Master ain't never wrong. We, the black church, we eat our own.
Absolutely.
We eat our
I
own.
agree with that.
Bishop Murphy, all of us know the man loves God, knows God. We have boohoo cried under his anointing.
Yes, sir.
About how straight.
And we crucified him for a swag surf. But nobody is going to take over the internet.
See there.
Not the black church.
See there.
Concerning what this white context just did. Hear me. We do some interesting things as black people. Show me a pastor, a black pastor, that has brought a male stripper
See.
in to open up a Christian conference.
That's crazy.
I would like us to get that same energy that we
on.
had for our own bishop.
That's
Come
all I'm
on.
saying.
And let's do the same thing for this foolery here.
'Cause it's
But we are afraid to talk about what white folk do. We actually come off as if their music is holier than ours.
Oh yes.
Right.
Like you cry with their stuff. Y'all do know their artists sleep around, cheat on their wives, cheat on their husbands. They heterosexual, homosexual, everybody's sexual. They do this. You know why? Because they're human.
Absolutely.
They're human beings. They're human
Absolutely.
beings. We hear this. It is this walking with Jesus is you're talking about human beings are doing it.
Yes.
Not they know God more than we do. And my problem is we won't highlight their infractions, but we will bury our own men and women of God when you find out that we have humanity complexes.
God, you're talking.
I have an issue with that.
You're talking real good.
I have an issue with that. So I'm not here to talk about how unbiblical and ungodly that was. I'm here to address the fact that black folk gonna find out about it and not post about it. And not do videos about it.
That's true.
But the man that produced the Tasha Cobbs,
My God.
the man that introduced us to Praise Is What I Do,
Come on. Come
the
on.
man that has done prayer conferences, you name it. He did something outside of the box that you may or may not agree with, and now he is a heathen.
Now you.
No, what's heathen is a stripper
You see what I'm saying?
at a Christian. I don't care if it's black or white.
Yeah.
That is y'all.
That's
That's
it.
just sickening.
That's my problem.
That's sick.
So anyway, what y'all think?
No, that's real.
And you have a stripper on payroll. You paid him for his presence.
Yeah.
Don't
Y'all, the
play
man took
around.
off his shirt, swallowed a sword, and then y'all, you have to be an entertainer to know about this. The color scheme that they gave him while he was doing his background was red.
Yeah.
The same color scheme that the entertainment industry uses
Yeah.
to send messages.
Yeah.
I said, yo, this is off,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna blow up about it. That's my issue. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you in your right mind, you know how unbiblical it is.
Yeah.
I just want black people to stop burying our own folk. I just want us to stop doing that. But yeah,
Stop it.
Doc, what you think?
I agree 100% with what you just said. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah, I hate that. I have an issue with that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Let's go to commercial. Look, everybody, I need you to do me a favor. I'm trying to get rich and famous. Trying to get rich. Do me a favor. Leave a review. If this is your favorite podcast, which I know it is. I know it is. I need you to go. It's at the bottom there, somewhere around the left or right, and leave a review. I don't care if it's good, bad. I don't care if it's negative. Say something, please. Then, so you can always be notified that I am live, press the subscribe button now. We're trying to make money out here so we can continue to give you some great content. I love you so much, and I know you love me too. Press the subscribe button. Let's make some money. Yo, man, thank you for tuning in tonight. Do me a favor, press that subscribe button. Tonight, you do not want to miss what we're talking about. And like, share, and tag. I have some of the most phenomenal, brilliant people on bandwidth with me. It's amazing. I know, hear me, I have grown up with every person on this panel, and they have become they have become some phenomenal people. Tonight, I wanted to have more of an intellectual topic conversation, and it is with some of society's leading educators. Show your love for that. I wanted to create a space for educators to inform the community, inform parents, inform the Black community about what's going on in the educational system from the Black context. I want to introduce to you all some amazing people. Let's start with, first of all, y'all show your love for my entire panel tonight. Educators, doctors, principals, former educators. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. Martez, go for it. Talk to us, man.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Gabe.
It's good to see you, man. Thank you
Good
for
to
coming.
see you, my brother.
Same to you, man.
Thank you for the invite. Martez Gerard Favis, educator, lifelong educator, only adult career that I've ever had.
Wow.
Which is surprising because it wasn't my first choice, but God had other plans. So
What did you want to do?
you know, I want to be name at lights.
Yeah.
I'll be on Broadway
Yeah.
somewhere. But
Yeah.
God has definitely helped me to use those skill sets of performance to be able to reach audiences that sometimes are forgotten and neglected and not seen and exposed. So those skills are still being able to be utilized every day. So I'm grateful for the
And so
experience.
what's your current position, if you will?
So my current position, I'm an assistant principal in South Georgia in one of the rural school districts there.
Good. How long have you been teaching?
This is year 14.
14. Wow. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
Dr. Jill, talk to us.
I'm Dr. Jill.
Dr. Jill.
Come on.
Let's go, Doc.
Tell us about that Dr. Jill thing, because that ain't no cap, is it?
No
Okay.
cap. Earned, not given. I earned a
Come on
doctorate
here.
of philosophy and curriculum and instruction.
So, PhD.
PhD.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 9th year.
9th year. What made you get into education?
My 3rd grade teacher.
Wow.
I had a Black 3rd grade teacher, and I just wanted to be like her. She was beautiful. She was educated. She was articulate. And from that moment, I wanted to be a teacher because I wanted to be just like her.
Wow.
So I've always wanted to be a teacher.
And what's your current position?
I teach 2nd grade in Metro Atlanta.
And what are all the positions you've held? Because that's not the only position you've held before.
Right. So I've been a classroom teacher. I've been a creative writing teacher. I've been a literacy interventionist. And I've been a master teacher leader.
Wow. And what about you, brother?
So I've been a paraprofessional. We can talk about that. Well, even before that, extended day activity leader. That's where it
That's right.
started. So I started that right after high school.
And that's where I officially met Martez. We were extended day teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, Martez and I graduated together.
What school?
Westover. Don't give us a little.
See what you ain't gonna do
Wow. On TV.
is act like
Really?
you ain't got no home training.
Right.
Help us.
Come on here.
Westover.
It's all love.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
when is y'all's 20 year
25.
20 year what?
anniversary from high school?
When is yours?
What month is this?
Yours is this year?
Mine is this year.
So
yeah.
ours is
So
next
ours
year.
is after yours. Yeah. Just
Man, y'all getting old, bro.
Sir.
Dr. Courtney, people don't know this, that you are a former educator as well. Tell us about that.
Did you want me to answer the question?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. But when what happened was
All
when
the
you
shade
said
that you threw
what
over
happened
there.
was when you
That's
said
what
West Cove, I
distracted
got
us.
distracted. When you
Yeah.
said West Cove, I just kind of lost my balance.
That's what kind
But
of
go ahead and
happens.
finish.
lost your
I
balance.
lost my balance. It kind of threw me off a little
That's
bit.
what kind of happens at the school you attend. You get easily distracted. My God, today.
Oh no, not here.
Hallelujah.
Not here.
God be praised.
Oh
God be praised.
Wow.
no. Oh help.
But the positions that
Keep going.
position that I had started out as an extended day activity
Yep.
leader. Then I came in as a para for a little while, and then I transitioned. My very first year teaching, started out as a paraprofessional. Then I taught kindergarten and third grade in the same year. So in that fall, I was kindergarten. In the spring, I was third grade. Then I moved on to fifth grade, fourth grade, went back to third. Then I became an instructional technology specialist. Then I became an instructional coach. Then an elementary assistant principal, school improvement specialist, middle school assistant principal.
Yeah, I would have forgot my first 3 years what I did. Yeah. Wow.
You've done it all.
Yeah.
You've done it.
Wow. Do you plan on
We in
being
there.
Do you plan on being a principal?
I'm going to do what God says do.
Shut up.
Be about
Because
it. Cool.
I didn't choose this field, so I'm going to allow him to lead me and guide me in what he chose for me. So, yeah.
There you have it. Doc, tell us about your career as an educator.
It's funny because I started teaching K through 5 music in Southwest Georgia. And I did private lessons. I taught in the school system, and then I moved to Metro Atlanta, and I taught for a few years K through 5 music, and of course now I'm adjunct faculty at a university as well.
Yes.
Y'all show your love for this entire panel. Let's get into it. Look, I have some concerns. I have some questions, and what better way to get some of these questions answered is by interviewing people who are in it. They're in the trenches. You all are in the trenches of education. Is there racism in the educational system concerning towards our Black learners?
Yes.
Go
The
for it.
simple answer is yes.
Yes.
So when you think about there's racism in this country, it infiltrates every area, including education. And research tells us that curriculum is written in a white context. So when you think about culture, is a very big aspect in who people are. You take your culture with you everywhere you go. And so when you separate culture from education, there's a disconnect for Black students. When you don't see authentic representation of yourself in curriculum, there is a disconnect.
And when you say curriculum, you mean that it is the curriculum that we are learning from is not written or created for us.
Correct.
Okay,
That is
expound
correct.
on that.
Yes. What you'll see now is curriculum companies are starting to introduce multiculturalism, but there's a multicultural section that you can buy in addition to the main curriculum. But the main curriculum is written in a white context. It's absent of Black culture.
So some people would say learning is learning, curriculum is curriculum. What makes that curriculum that's written in a white context, what makes it difficult or a challenge for Black people?
Because that's not your cultural connection. So you're pulling me from my cultural connection, putting me in another cultural connection, another culture that I do not connect with.
Oh, sounds like slavery.
In a sense, yes.
Interesting. Doc, what would you say to that?
So let's look at a timeline, and we think about education in Georgia in particular. So education, as far as the construct of the idea of teaching and learning, was established in 1777 in Georgia. Okay,
1777.
right. The first supported or state-supported high school was opened in Augusta in 1783. Okay, just keep these numbers in mind.
Okay.
In 1858, the first comprehensive system for the state was established, okay, for children to actually attend school. It was mandated as a system, okay, so that's almost 100 years later. Okay. And then you go to the mandate for it to be free for children to receive education in 1866. Then we go on to 1872, where all schools were segregated by race. Okay. And many could not afford to operate. So some of them only were operated for like 3 or 4 months at a time. So you think about those constructs. Okay. We move on down when we think about where we're from. Okay. Think about when that city was established.
Sure.
Okay. So the first public high school was established in 1908, where we're from. So think about that time gap. Okay. The first school for black people, public, was opened in 1940.
That's perspective.
Yeah.
So when you think about, is there racism in education? The whole construct and foundation was built upon it. Where we're from, we were not allowed to go to school until less than 100 years ago. Think about that. Less than 100 years ago. Roughly 84 years that people where we grew up were allowed to go to school. And even then, it was only one school. 20 years later, we started integration, and then your school was built, but it wasn't built for you when it was first built.
Right.
So,
It's interesting you said that. I'm just kind of, yesterday, I saw a bunch of pictures from my school. And do you know the class in the 70s? They had 50 pictures. The first 40 looked like it was all whites. All whites. So that confirms what you're saying. Keep going. Keep going.
so then when you look at your school was built in, I want to get the date right, 1963. 1963.
Crucial year.
Okay. So think about what's going on during that time.
Yeah.
Now, the school, when it was first built, was built because of the Air Force Base and the military base that were both installations in our hometown.
Yeah.
So that certain demographic, because they did not want to drive across to the north side for their children to go, they needed a school that was close to them. Now, mind you, 2 years later, 3 years later, in 1966, 2 black girls integrated that school. 1966. Now, mind you, in 1969, our school was built. So just think about that timeline and what was going on and the reasons for these schools being built. It wasn't because we wanted great education for all. We wanted our education to be for us.
Can I
Go ahead.
interject? Also, that private schools are based upon that as well. Private schools were built for white children to be separated from black children. I'll never forget a very quick story. In Southwest Georgia, went to school down there, met this woman. She was, long story short, I told her that I was singing in 6 different languages as an operatic vocalist as for my senior recital. She was completely and absolutely confused, appalled, shocked that a black woman could sing Dvorak, could sing Bach, could sing Spanish pieces, or could sing in Latin. And because from her context, she was a former music teacher and she taught pre-integration. And she literally got out of teaching public school because she said the black kids are too far behind. And so she went and she taught private schools. And she was so shocked. And she says, every day I ask to see something unbelievable, and here you are. 3 months later, she showed up at my senior recital. Our educational system is most definitely founded and based in racism. So much so that educators literally left schools during integration because they just could not take it, the whole process.
So where are we concerning the educational level of our young learners today. What you said something in a leadership training. I don't know if you remember it, or you said something to me and I repeated what you said in the leadership training. What's the condition of our African American students today? What's the learning condition?
So if you look at test scores, because that's what we use to measure, historically, black students score below white students in literacy. Math too, but literacy. Now, when you talk about what Martez just said, that makes a huge difference because we just started being allowed legally to learn to read, right? There was a time where it was illegal for us to learn to read. So that is a factor. Also, when you look at the exam itself, so this is what my research was about in my dissertation. My research was about the absence of culturally relevant pedagogy and standardized testing. So what I did was analyze test questions, and I analyzed about 20-something questions. None of them had traces of black culture. So essentially, you're telling me that you're assessing me in literature or reading, but you're really assessing my knowledge of mainstream culture. Because if there's nothing on the test that I can connect with, I don't understand your language, I don't understand your culture, I can't comprehend it. But that's not a reflection of my ability to read. That's a reflection of my knowledge of your culture, because that's what you decided to put on the test.
And because I can't connect, I can't execute to the highest level that I can of my ability. And because I can't execute to the highest level of my ability, you all get to dictate what my learning ability
It
is.
appears that I am illiterate.
Putting me in a category, and that category is now my career trajectory.
Yes, because the state of Georgia has something called college and career readiness. And so the scores are broken into 4 domains: beginning, developing, proficient, distinguished. Children should score in proficient, which means they have mastered their grade level standards. Well, according to the indicators, if you are a beginning or developing learner, it suggests that you are not ready for college and career. Well, when you look at the test scores, most of the black students fall in the beginning and developing domains. White students primarily fall in the proficient and distinguished domains. So basically what the state is saying, that the white students who are falling in those proficient and distinguished domains are ready for college and career. The black students that fall in the beginning and developing domains are not. That's what the indicators suggest.
So Martez, based upon the indicator, where does that leave black learners as it relates to their career path?
That's a loaded question, Dr. Gabe.
Okay.
In the constructs and confines that have been established and that exist today, it leaves them stranded. It leaves them isolated. It leaves them exposed. It leaves them unsupported. It leaves them in a place where they're having to fend for themselves. And that is a construct that was designed. It's not happenstance. It didn't occur by osmosis. This was developed. It was designed. It was planned. It was put together. And you have to look at and I'm not saying that I'm not accusing anyone of being malicious in their implementation or their delivery. But when you don't have a diverse, and I know that word in the state of Georgia has been banned. However, when you don't have a diverse group of people developing, vetting, implementing, teaching, the content, as well as administering and writing and developing the assessments, you miss out on an entire group of children who, because of who they are, because of where they're from, because of the experiences that they've had and exposure that they may not have had. They are suffering, and they're the ones that are left with the short end of the stick. So it's important that we do the work to include ourselves in those spaces. Because oftentimes there are opportunities.
Do the work to include ourselves in those spaces. Explain that.
So oftentimes there are opportunities that are presented for educators to either volunteer or to submit a proposal or to submit an application to serve on various committees and groups and teams. And oftentimes those emails go unread because that's something else for me to do. That's something extra, because and I have to play both sides of it, because also in our culture, not everybody, but our culture as a whole, we like to do just enough.
That's right. That's right.
If I ain't getting paid for that, I ain't
right.
doing it.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
Even though the extra work that you're putting in could help change the trajectory of generations behind us, putting in that extra hour or two or three, whatever it takes, to be able to read through these assessment questions, register to be a scorer for the assessment, because that's a job. Human beings get paid to score these standardized assessments. People that are sitting at their homes who may not have been in a classroom for 20 years are scoring and putting a stamp and label on our children.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
So we have to be willing to do the work to put ourselves in those spaces.
Can I?
Please go for it.
I want to add something as well to the aspect of standardized testing. Again, I will not say what school system that I experienced this in, but had an opportunity to teach K through 5 in a county, and taught at a Title I school, which of course mostly Black and brown children, over 2,000 kids, 2 music teachers. Each music teacher teaches 1,000 children every year. And so imagine this: you get an opportunity to teach one class, and they come to you every day for a week. You do not see them again for another month or more. But you get a chance to sit in, and you get a chance to go to a school that doesn't have a whole lot of Black and brown children. You sit in, you have a class that goes to music every single day. They get those concepts of music every single day. They have different equipment, different music instruments, all of those different things. But guess what? Both schools, at those 2 different schools, are tested the exact same way. So they don't have access to the same amount of material. They don't have the same frequency, and they don't have the same tools in order to be successful. But they're judged and they're tested by standardized testing of, they don't know anything. Well, one class only sees the music teacher once a week for a month, and they don't see them again. So that's another disparity where our Black and brown children, you can't score well because we don't have the same opportunities that other children might have.
Y'all do me a favor. I need y'all to like, share, and tag and get parents on. Parents, and especially our community. You need to get them on and press that subscribe button. I want to ask this question. What is the academic performance of our learners right now?
In terms of test scores, or
Just every week, what are you all seeing in the classroom?
I'm seeing some of the most brilliant minds that I have seen in a long time. When I think about the group of kids that I taught 10, 12, 13 years ago, I'm seeing some of those characteristics circle back through this group of kids. And they are curious, and they are intellectual, and they have to learn how to harness that energy and those gifts and those innate abilities in a way that helps them be successful. Because what truly happens with a lot of our kids is because of external factors that are beyond our control, like home life situation, economic status, the literacy of family members, because that plays a part. And we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about the fact that the guardians and the caregivers speak broken English.
That's right.
We don't want to talk about the fact that our children have to learn multiple languages before they even get to school.
Absolutely.
We don't talk about that. We just say they don't know the King's English.
You're talking good.
But they're proficient in Ebonics. They're
They are.
efficient in slang.
That's right.
They're
They are
efficient in
talking
all
so
of these
good.
That's
languages.
right.
So let's
They
not
are
say that they
talking
don't know
so
how to
good.
communicate.
That's
They just
right.
don't communicate in the way that you want them
You
to
want them to.
communicate.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's so true.
So we have to think that our children already know 3 or 4 languages before they even get to school.
Yes, they do.
That's so true.
Now, they may have some trouble mastering and making the connection and bridging the gap, but that's where educators come in.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Talk good.
That's
son.
right.
Right.
So we have to have culturally responsive educators who are willing to do the work and advocate for what our children need, because vocabulary acquisition is a huge deficit in a lot of Black and brown classroom settings.
Yeah.
Because there's an expectation, either you should already know this or you'll never learn it. There's a difference there. Like, I'm not gonna, either way, it looks the same. They're not being taught. Either you should already know it or you'll never learn it. The outcome is the same. So at what point are we gonna say, if you come to me not knowing, you're going to leave me knowing something?
That's right. That's right.
And that takes, it truly takes a village to raise a child. And I remember a song that Courtney and I sang
In high school.
in
I think
middle
it was
school.
Was it middle school?
We were in middle school at All State Chorus.
Yes.
That was actually the name of the song. And that's actually how we met. But going back to that adage, it's not just a rhetoric in African culture. That is a true depiction of how society really operates at its highest level. When every stakeholder has stake in the game. But just because I am a business owner who may not have biological children, those children are coming into my business. And if I want my business to be safe, I want business to be sustained, I've got to make an investment into ensuring that they know how to conduct themselves when they come inside. It's not just on the mom and dad. It's not just on the grandma, the auntie, the cousin, the uncle. It's on all of us to
community.
ensure that this generation who's going to make decisions for us when we can't make decisions for ourselves, that they are equipped and that they are trained and that they are well-versed and knowledgeable to make decisions that will be beneficial.
I want to ask this question. You talked about the family dynamic. What are some of your biggest concerns concerning the family and the learner?
Yeah, so it's a direct connection.
Okay.
And I want to go back to something Dr. Court was talking about the two dynamics you see at a predominantly Black and brown school versus predominantly white school. And I've had the opportunity as well to work in both. And one of the significant differences that one of the first thing I recognized is the presence of family.
Family.
At the white school, the entire family shows up. The mom, the dad, the nanny, all the siblings, and the dog, everybody is coming.
To what?
To curriculum night, to field day, to field trips, whatever. If the school is open, they are there. They rally around their children. Versus at Black schools, that's not the case more often than not. Now, I will say this, because we talked about this before the show. When you ask the question about what do we see, we also see a lot of trauma, right?
Okay.
We also see that our Black families who live in communities that are impoverished, can't get it out.
Impoverished.
Thank
got
you.
Yes, ma'am.
PhD. Are trying are trying to survive, right?
And
Well,
that hinders the ability to be
to
present.
even focus, yes. Versus my dad is an emergency room physician, and we went to Spain for spring break.
Man, come on. Come on, man.
It makes a difference.
It
Come
makes
on.
a huge difference.
makes a difference.
And we still take the same test
Absolutely.
on the same day. So the night before in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
there was a shootout.
Right.
The night before in your neighborhood, you know, there was classical music playing, and your nanny came and got you up that morning and made you a gourmet breakfast, and then walked you to school and kissed your forehead and said, Miss Such and Such will be back. Have a great day. That's what we see.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you
Talk
want to
about it.
say our children are dumb.
Are dumb.
We're not dumb. We're far from dumb. We built this country. You wouldn't have eaten if my great-great-great-grandma didn't cook for you. So who's the dummy?
Or our great-great-great-grandmother nursed
Your baby.
your child
Yes.
with her own breast.
Yes. You wouldn't be wealthy if we didn't pick your cotton.
Or build your horseshoe, or build your
All of
saddle.
the things.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the things.
All the things. And then you have the audacity to call our people ignorant and stupid.
So it leads me to this question that I think is, and we don't have a lot of time. Let's rush through this.
Need to do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
We have to do a part 2. I want to ask 5 more questions that I think the audience may be interested in. Number 1, should Black and brown families invest in homeschooling, or should we continue to trust the public school system?
That
That's
that
a
is
good
an
question.
interesting question, because if the place that is causing me trauma and learning loss is the same environment where I am expected to learn, those two can't exist.
They can't exist.
So the first step is, are we willing to have conversations around reestablishing the home construct?
The home construct. We got to start at home, not at
We
school.
have to.
We got to start at home.
We have to.
And what should we be focusing on as parents, as guardians? Because we understand the dynamic that we don't have the same equal opportunities as it relates to occupation. Our parents have to work 12, 13 hours. We don't own our businesses. We work for people who own businesses, on and on and on. So what should we be focusing on at home? So when that Black and brown child comes home, we understand that you work long hours. We understand that you're a single parent. But what should be going on in the house that has nothing to do with race? It has nothing to do with color. It has all to do with character.
Time.
We have to decide, what is a priority?
Yes, sir.
Is my priority looking like I got it, or actually having it?
Stop this.
Yeah, man.
Stop this.
What's my priority? Is my priority that I want to prove a point to somebody that I'm not what you think I am, or that I actually take the time to do the hard work to become more than you think I am? Because oftentimes we look at other people and we use that as a stimulus for making decisions about our own lives, when that has to be an intrinsic, innate, like self-motivated action. Because if you're doing something to prove somebody wrong, when are you ever going to be right?
So are you referring to how the Black community, we love to purchase things that we cannot afford, look a certain way, and we, what are you, in your experience, what are you seeing that's going on in the Black home that needs to be reversed?
It makes absolutely no sense for your child to come to school
Stop this.
without school supplies.
School supplies.
To come to school in clothes that they wore for 3 days this week that have not been washed.
Okay.
That you haven't even looked at.
Okay.
But then when it comes time to go to prom, they're in Balenciaga.
Man, come on, bro. Come on.
Help me understand.
He's
It doesn't make
telling the truth.
sense to me.
You telling the truth.
100%
It doesn't
truth.
make sense to
Come
me
on,
doesn't
man.
make sense.
Come on, man.
that you are willing to sacrifice your child's education to take them out for their birthday.
Uh-huh.
So you miss a day of school
You miss a day of school.
to go celebrate your birthday and spend money that you don't have, and then you send your child to me to ask for snack money the next week. That doesn't make sense to me. What is a priority? Is the priority that you're gonna have something today, or is your priority that you're going to invest into your future? And investment is something that, as a culture, we have not been taught, and we have not explored that
That's
because
right.
we are a handout mentality.
That's right.
We are a food box giveaway
That's right.
type people.
Did you hear what he
And
said?
that's what we look for. We want somebody to give us something for nothing. We don't know how to invest and plant seeds. That there be some seed time, then there's a harvest.
That's right.
We want that instant gratification.
That's
we
right.
want you to give us everything.
That's right.
And that's also the difference between our culture and traditionally European cultures.
That's right.
Is that they, and it's not everybody, but for the most part, from my experience of living in these United States of America for 37 years,
Sure.
is that particular culture,
Dang!
they take what they want.
Really? I'm so sorry.
You almost 40, brother.
Keep
going.
Please don't lose your train of thought.
And you'll be 40 before me. Bless God. Hallelujah. Tell me how it is when you get there.
No, that brings back a report.
Write the letter. I need a play-by-play. I need a vlog.
Okay, wait.
Hold on.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But they traditionally have taken what they want when we have sat back and waited for the scraps.
That's right.
And we are still a scrap waiting mentality.
That's
we
right.
still have that.
That's right.
As a culture, we're waiting on you to give me what's left versus me getting up and taking what belongs to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Doc.
I was going to add to what Martez said. I think also, obviously, there is historic and systemic racism. We know that, right? I think also one of the things we need to do is focus on the things we can change. We can change our economic status. We can change the communities we live in.
That's right.
We can change the opportunities and the exposure that we give to our children.
children,
But
yes.
you have to be willing to change your investment.
So from prom investment,
Go to the museum.
Go to the Hive, please.
Most of them, a
Instead
lot of them
of-
are free.
A lot of them are free.
of them
A
are
lot of
free.
things for children are free.
They're free.
so I have a let me do this. I have an issue with what I saw recently. Sexy Red was able to come to a high school and perform. Well, she was stopped by the principal because she came in smelling
Smelling like weed.
Like weed. My question is to you all: is that a part of the problem?
Wait, which one is that? What's she saying?
I don't know. Des,
What Sexy Red song is? Which one is that?
what's she
I
saying?
don't know. She always has
I just
a
know,
red
Is that
Martez.
the one that the girl be singing?
Nasty stuff. She's just nasty.
Bend it over?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like the gospel version of that one. That was good.
What's the gospel version?
Oh, yeah, we'll play it later. Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness.
Hands on your knees. Yeah. Pray in prayer. In prayer. Okay, in prayer. Hallelujah.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a God somewhere.
Stop.
Partaking.
No.
I said, be careful.
Don't play that on Sunday.
Is that an issue? And the reason I'm asking is because I think our consumption as a community, what we consume, what we use to keep the children engaged. There was a time. See, Sexy Red is not Usher.
Right.
At all.
there was a time where people like Usher
even
could
in the
do
church.
both.
Right.
They could do both. What's your opinion about that?
Sexy Red.
Yeah. Why would someone bring her to the educational
Sexy
system?
Red.
Screaming. Screaming. Please
Come on,
stop.
Sexy
That's
Red.
I think that I don't care if you're entertained or not when you come to school. I don't care if you like being here. I'm trying to give you something
That's it.
that will change your family dynamics. Period. I'm not trying to entertain you. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to improve the quality of your life. I'm trying to improve the quality of your legacy. School is not supposed to be fun. This is my personal opinion. If you have some fun, great. I'm not here. Fun is not your main. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to expand your mind.
Doc, are we producing good students?
Can I put a pin in
Please
that?
go for it.
So as an entertainer
Yes.
and as an artist, whether it's music, visual art, theater, graphic design, we have an obligation as artists to use our gifts
That's right.
to spread messages. That's the whole intent. And whatever messages you decide to share will either be detrimental
That's right.
or they'll be influential to the audience.
That's right.
So it is unexcusable for someone with that type of influence, whether it is entertaining, whatever you want to call it, to use it in a way that does not help the people who are in the positions that you were just in. That is selfish. It is irresponsible.
Wow.
And it's just not right.
Wow.
We always say, I got it out the mud.
Yeah.
I did this by myself. I'm self-made. That's a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
There's not one single person that I know on this earth that has ever gotten into any level of success by themselves.
By themselves.
Somebody helped you.
That's right.
And it is your obligation to reach back and pull those up with you. If you're not, you're selfish.
That's right.
And you are more detriment to society than those that don't look like us.
That's. Are we producing? Thank you for that, Martez. Are we producing quality learners when they graduate from high school? What's coming out of those four walls?
So don't look at the graduation rate. Look at the reading scores.
You talking real good, Dr. Jim.
So
Dr. Jill said that.
Don't look at the graduation rate.
Talk good.
Look at the reading scores.
Look at the reading scores.
So 400 kids graduated this Saturday, and we have a big celebration.
Right.
That's not what we look at.
that does not matter. If
What are you
only-
celebrating?
Right. That does not matter if only 20 of them are proficient
Please
readers.
stop this.
Wow.
I just
Talk
want to know,
good,
what are you
Dr. Jill.
celebrating?
Wow.
What are you celebrating?
Talk good.
Because we go all out for a high school graduation with this, which in our society is the lowest level of education that you can attain.
Oh boy.
But we go all out. We're buying cars. We're going on trips. We're doing all this celebrating, and you don't have a plan for post graduation.
From high school.
From high school.
From high school.
Rock with me. I'm a parent. My child is in the 9th grade. What should I be having a conversation with my child about? How do I prepare them to dominate in society the next 10 years?
First, I would say you need to decide that you will commit to being an advocate for your child.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Yes.
If you leave, and I am a public school teacher, I am an advocate for public schools. I will let my children go to public schools. So I want to preface by saying that if you leave your child's education
Talk good.
Up
up to a school,
Wow.
you are doing
You're
your
lost. You've
child
lost.
a
A disservice.
disservice.
You've lost. That's right.
And I am an educator
All right.
for education.
Yes.
It is not the school's sole responsibility for your child's education. It is a partnership and a continuation of what you're already doing at home. That
At
goes
home.
back to that home life.
At home.
question?
Go, please.
So, to your point, can you share with us the importance of internships, exposure, college visits? Can y'all share with us a little bit more about the importance of that and how that helps their trajectory to their post-graduation success?
Yeah, so several weeks ago, I put something on Facebook about your child needs a resume. And I talked about not only academic success, but it matters what type of extracurricular activities you put your children in.
Okay.
So one of the differences I see also working at, the different schools, different demographics is they play a lot of lacrosse, wrestling, swim team, violin, martial arts. We do football.
We do football.
Basketball.
We just got fancy and added soccer.
Yeah.
And soccer, we grew up thinking soccer was for white people, but we just added soccer. Keep going.
Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. If your child needs help, ask for help.
Yes.
And ask for help before it's too late.
Yes.
If you know your child, and I'm not saying that we should label children or throw them in special education. That's not what I'm saying. But if you notice a deficit, get some help.
Get some help.
Yes. Oftentimes schools have free tutorials after school or before school. Some schools, depending upon where you are, have Saturday schools. Oftentimes your local church, they have
Thank you.
tutorial
You're a prophet.
programs.
You're a prophet.
Segue.
You're a prophet.
Segue.
Which leads me into my last two questions. We're behind time. I'm sorry, Brandon. We're behind time. Is the church responsible for the condition of the black community?
Let me go.
Okay.
Put me in, coach.
You in.
Tap me in. Tap me in. Yeah. So, I'm going to rewind that.
Now, hold on, Martez. Let me help everybody real quickly. Every person on this panel, we are very, very, very involved in our churches.
Yes.
Every one of us, we have, number one, we have 20 plus years in the church, and we currently hold very, very powerful positions in the black church. So we are qualified to talk about the church as well. Go for it, Martez.
And we're not going to use the W word. Praise the Lord. Okay. Dr. Jill and I were also talking about this. Within that village, as a culture, church is a staple for our people.
Staple.
And it goes all the way back to when people who look like us were brought over here on those cruise ships that they like to tell us.
That's right.
It was on a
that
cruise.
was a cruise.
and
It was a
they
cruise.
came on over
It was
here.
a cruise.
Voluntary.
So, voluntary labor.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to call it. So, when you think about what the church was as an institution to that generation of people and how that generation passed that importance on to the next generation and how somewhere in that passing, some of the work and the operations of the church became perverted. And we don't like to talk about those things. Those are the things that we sweep under the rug. Those are the things that we don't like to speak about abuse in the black community, particularly when it comes to sexual abuse. We don't like to talk about those things. We don't like to speak the fact that some of those things happened in the church. We don't want to talk about young girls being pregnant by leaders in the church. These girls being forced to sit down while the father is still in the forefront leading people. We don't talk about the psychological and emotional toils that takes on people to have those unresolved issues. And you carry it around with you, and then you pass it on to the next generation, and they don't even know why they are dysfunctional. They're dysfunctional because it was passed down. We never addressed it. We never had those conversations because that's taboo in our community. What goes on in this house stays in this house. What goes on in this church stays in this church. And that's a problem. And it has caused us so much anguish and there's so much anger, and people love to use the catchphrase church hurt. But it really has nothing to do with the church per se, has to do with the people who were inside of the church who chose, once again, to be irresponsible, who chose to be negligent, who chose not to use the care and the regard and the nurturing that it takes for spiritual leaders and those who are serving people. Because oftentimes we look at it as a service unto the Lord, and it is, but you're also serving people.
That's right.
And people have emotions, people have intellect, they have souls, they have psyche that they have to sit with when you've toyed with them, when you've messed over them, and you've not acknowledged that it even happened.
So what do we do to fix that specifically the black church? What do we do to fix that will assist in the future of our young people? How can we, as the body of Christ, by way of the black context, how can we prepare, since we're facing all of these disparities in the school system, how can the church kind of undergird and help as a community, help our young people?
We got to read the whole Bible. We can't pick and choose the 10 scriptures that we want to talk about. We've got to read it in its entirety, and we've got to utilize it as the tool that it is. It is a resource and it is a guide, and there are daily principles that we have to put into practice. It's not just parables and stories. It don't just sound good. But these are actual daily practices that we can put into place, that we've got to utilize it in that way. Oftentimes, as a culture, we want to feel good. We want to shout. We want to snot. We want to roll on the floor. We want to do all those things. And you get up snotty and sweaty. And you haven't learned anything. You haven't grown. You haven't expanded your mind. You haven't developed. You're that same snotty, sweaty person that you were an hour ago. So at some point, we've got to really take, and I even think about the construct of Sunday school. Not in the text or the traditional sense that we know it, but sometimes it takes a little bit more, because some of us do small groups and we do things of that nature. But when it comes to those that don't know what they don't know, sometimes they've got to be guided in a more direct instructional approach. We call that remediation in education. Sometimes I've got to take you didn't get it the first time. So let me do this in a different way.
Doc, I want you to talk about the context you come from. In your church, you're actually over the children's program. What do you see the church needing to improve in to assist the black community educationally?
We just need to be willing to get involved. It's really simple. Whether we start our own programs or if we adopt a school and we commit to going to that school twice a week, every week, like we just have to be willing to get involved.
Is that a problem in the black community, black church, where we don't have time to get involved?
Yes, that's a problem.
Okay.
That's a problem. I think that there is so much to be done. We need numbers. We need people. And you don't have to be an educator to get involved. There's so much to do. We can find something for you to do, whether you're an educator or not.
That's phenomenal. I want to ask this last question before we go. We talk about all of these things going on. We even talked about, Martez talked about the integrity in the church. Well, what's going on with the integrity in the school system amongst teachers? Southwest Georgia just had a big blowout scandal that happened. How can we as parents trust a system that's even perverted outside of the home, outside of the church? How can we improve in that?
I think we have to learn how to trust each other again. I think sometimes in the black community, we just don't trust each other. And it's easier for us to fuss and fight, it seems like, than to join and band together. So I think relationships, there needs to be some restoration in our community.
Yeah.
Realizing that we're on the same team. I benefit nothing from your child failing. I benefit nothing. Knowing that if your child is with me for most of their day, it benefits both of us to get along. And at the end of the day, when the adults are fighting, the children suffer. We have to learn to get along. We have to learn to love each other. We have to learn to trust each other. I think the relationship needs to be restored. We can't keep fighting each other. We're never going to get anywhere.
And then to add to that, oftentimes as educators and in any profession, we put a lot of stock into professional development. However, oftentimes we negate the personal development because in order to be a quality professional, you have to be a quality person.
That's so true.
And we don't put the work, because I can give you a certification, I can give you a degree. If you're a liar, you're going to be a liar with a certification and a degree.
Man, come on.
That's true.
Come on.
So we've got to really do, like I said before, that hard work. Before I can do the hard work, I've got to do the hard work.
Yeah.
I've got to look within, and I've got to work on those things that need to be fixed. That brokenness that needs to be mended. That bitterness, that anger, that frustration, that abandonment, that I want to get back at you because you did something to me. I've got to work on that because it's going to spill over into every facet of my life. It spills over into the classroom. It spills over into the church. It spills over everywhere until we are willing to be vulnerable and intentional about our own business and not being so focused on everybody else's. If we, in social media is great and it has its space and its place, but if we can put those phones down and spend time with self, we would see a major difference in every facet of our lives.
Yo, there you have it. Can y'all do me a favor? Show your love for Martez Favors and Dr. Jalillian Davis and Dr. Courtney Spencer, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Bandwidth, man. Phenomenal. Do me a favor, y'all. Martez, if we want to follow you, want to inbox you, or message you, have you come and speak to our classes, our schools, our children, whatever, how can we find you on social media?
For sure. On social media, I just created a new kind of educational space on IG. It's called Mr. Favis. So it's at MRFAVIS. But all things Martez Gerard, you can find me. That's the easiest way. That's on IG. That's on Facebook. That's my email address. That's my website, MartezGerard.
Dr. Jill, where can we find you?
It's Dr. Jill.
It's Dr. Jill, and that's everywhere?
Everywhere.
Y'all show your love. Thank y'all for tuning in to Bandwidth, y'all. See you Monday.